You can get these if you like my recommendations because they're pretty good, just saying. And hey there, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if it's your first time here. My name is Erin and today's video is about New Look, because who isn't talking about New Look these days, at least here in the US. Hobby Lobby is getting rid of their New Look patterns, which I think is kind of a sign of the times and is sad. My Joann's is also liquidating right now, not related to the bankruptcy, but they were already planning it anyway. So yeah, I think it's just unfortunately kind of a sign of the times. I do think I heard Hobby Lobby is going to be getting rid of all of their patterns eventually. I don't think a lot of people are regularly buying patterns at Hobby Lobby, so it does kind of make sense that they would get rid of that aspect of their sewing department. My sewing department also recently got shifted around. They kind of moved where the notions were and consolidated them some and brought in some like giant urns from the floral department. So hopefully that's not a harbinger of things to come, but we'll see. Anyway, I am not here to share a haul today. I'm not going to share a haul. I think there are a lot of hauls out there and you can really see what's available. I am going to be talking about 3 New Look patterns that I think are worth more than 99 cents. Definitely get them for 99 cents if you can. It seems like it's about, I don't know, 50-50 of whether people's Hobby Lobbies have them already on clearance or not. So hopefully there are still some left at your Hobby Lobby if you are here in the US. And you can get these if you like my recommendations because they're pretty good, just saying. For today's video, I have 3 New Look patterns that I want to share that I have sewn and love. I really enjoyed sewing them. I enjoy the garments for the most part. We'll talk about it. But I just wanted to share with you 3 New Look patterns that I have sewn and do recommend that you pick up for 99 cents if you can. If you can't, I still recommend buying these. They're really good patterns. So even if you live outside of the US or you're not near a Hobby Lobby and you need to order them online or go to a Joann's or something, I do think they are worth the money. Let's talk about them. The first pattern I want to share is what I am wearing. If you have been with my channel since almost the beginning, pretty much, since last summer, you will probably recognize this. It's pretty memorable, I think. It is New Look 6197. I made these vacation shirts. I also made one for my husband before we went on vacation last year. From this quilting cotton that I found at Joann's. It's Robert Kaufman print. And it has these fun tropical birds and it is just, it's kitschy, man. I love it. I think they are perfect for vacation. So I made mine, which was view B. I made the version with the sleeves. I omitted the pocket, but I made view B in a size 14. It fits me really well. I will put my measurements in the description box below. I usually try to remember to put them in there when I talk about what size I cut of something so that you can reference it. I made a size 14 and it fits well. The only notes I had on it were that the arm side is a little tight. That's a pretty common problem for me though, in ready to wear and in other patterns. Not just Big 4, other indie patterns I've made also. So I just have big arms. So I had that as a note, and then I need to move the darts down, which again is a common problem for me. But other than that, nothing was changed. And then for Adam, my husband, I made view A in a size small. I'll put his measurements down below too. And it fits him just fine. It is a very easy sew, a very fun sew. It's just a fun little camp shirt. You have a couple of options in terms of putting pockets on or not and putting sleeves on the female version or not. But overall, fun, easy sew, great first pattern if you want to do something that has a collar but doesn't have a collar stand and everything. If you want to practice some buttons, the facing and all of that. I think it's a really good way to familiarize yourself with those skills. So yeah, I do highly recommend New Look 6197. So Lovely with Grace also loves this pattern. She's made it several times. So this is a great pattern for an easy, fun little shirt. If you can convince your loved one to wear matching ones, it's even better. The other two I have are actually two really recent makes. This one is New Look 6346. I just talked about it in my Friday sews. I made somewhere between view A and view B because of fabric limitations. And I did make it in a size 20, but I'm fixing the waistband. So I have it here to show you, and I do have some video to insert of when I was wearing it last week, and it's a little too big. The waistband's in pieces because I'm fixing it. I did end up bringing it in about 5/8 of an inch on both side seams. So I think that probably just took it down to like a size 18 or something at the waist, maybe a 16 or a 17 as it were. But I did a size 20 and I'm taking it down. Like I said, my measurements are down below if you want to see how you compare. And it is a very easy sew. I did it in this lightweight denim that I got in the Remnants bin at Joann's, hence the fabric limitations. But super easy, great skirt for the spring, summer, even fall if you made it in something a little heavier, depending where you live. Where I live, I don't need anything heavier. I'm in the South. But yeah, it's a great, simple skirt. But I really like that it has either the button placket or you can do a zip in the back, which I think, depending on the fabric you pick, could make it a little more professional. This is definitely a casual skirt. The final pattern I'm going to talk about is another recent make. I actually did this in a collaboration with Lara from Sewing Up Style. Ooh, back in March, about a month ago now. It is New Look 6352. Now, my experience sewing it was not great, but that was primarily due to fabric choice and the fact that we were trying to race each other. So I was trying to sew it quickly because it says easy 1 hour. Let's just X that off the front of the cover and ignore that because I disagree. But the pattern itself is a good pattern. I cut a size 16 in this pattern, which is pretty typical for me in dresses, especially dresses that are not tight at all around the hips or the bum and the waist area. Mostly the hips are where I need to be bigger. But yeah, so I cut a 16. It fits well, except for, again, the arm size, and the arms are a little tight when I'm trying to move around in them. They just need a smidge more space, but that's a me issue, not really a sizing issue for the pattern. Like I said, I would change the fabric I made it out of. I used a polyester crepe, I think. Something like that. It was very slippery, very slinky, very frustrating and annoying, and I don't have enough experience working with it, and I was trying to sew fast, so it just overall led to a not great sewing experience. But like I said, none of that was due to the pattern itself. The pattern itself, very simple. As long as you're not trying to do it quickly, I think it would be a great beginner pattern, honestly. There are some facings, and if you don't want to hand sew them, it has you hand sew the arm and neck facings. Well, it has you tack the neck facing, hand sew, slip stitch around the arm facings, and then it does have you do the hem by hand. So it's a really good opportunity to practice those skills, even though you could kind of do that on any pattern. Or you can machine sew them. It's not the end of the world. So I do think the pattern itself, if we eliminate this part, is a good little pattern. So I do recommend it for a simple flowy dress. I want to make it again in the longer version, view A here. I have really enjoyed sewing the New Look patterns that I have made. I am looking forward to making more. They have some really cute baby and toddler ones that I know I'll be making over the years to come. But the biggest issue I see with New Look is their sizing range. The cool thing about New Look patterns is that all of the sizes come in one envelope. So you don't risk grabbing the wrong size run or being right in the middle of two size runs and having to get both packets, or you gain weight or lose weight and you shift around. That being said, let's look at the ranges of these. I do think New Look 6197 is the most generous. It's a US 8 through 18 for the female sizes and an extra small through an extra large. Let's see. Extra small goes from a chest of 30 to 32, and then extra large is 46 to 48. And then for the misses, 8 is a bust of 31.5 and a hip of 33.5, and an 18 is a bust of 40 and a hip of 42. Do I think my hips are bigger than that? But this doesn't really go all the way down to my hips, so I guess that's not an issue. But, so not amazing sizing. This is an 8 through 20. So decent, but like I said, I originally cut a 20 based on my measurements and what I thought the finished garment measurements were going to be. And then this one is an 8 through an 18. Now, I think I'm a pretty average sized person in terms of ready to wear. I am like an 8 or a 10 in a dress and pants. I'm a medium in tops, a large on the bottom. I have like the most average shoe size. I'm average everything pretty much in most stores, in most ready to wear places. So to buy a pattern where I am at the top end of it just tells me that there are a lot of people that this is missing. And I mean, maybe I'm slightly larger than average. I don't know. But I can go into any store and find my size as long as they have it in stock. But like, they'll carry it. You know, I'm right smack dab in the middle. If I gain a couple pounds, I'm sizing out of some of these patterns. So that is frustrating because it just, like, they're just missing a lot of people. And I think it does come down to the fact that they put all of the sizes in the envelope, which it's self-limiting. And Big Four isn't known for being the most size inclusive anyway to begin with. It is something that they're working on. So I don't want to like shame them for that when they're working on it. But just something I noticed, something I have noticed in the past is that if you are on the upper or lower end of the sizing, you do really have to pay attention because, I mean, if you're smaller than a size 8, you can't make this either. I think they're trying to cast the widest net and get the most people into these pattern packets, which makes sense, but just a note. So if you're gonna go browse the New Look patterns, make sure you pay attention because they're also not consistent. Some will go up to a 22. I think that's the highest they go up to like a 22, but make sure you look at those finished garment measurements if they're on there and go based off of that. New Look does also have a ton of children's clothing. They even have some that are sized for tweens, which is pretty cool. I have some of those ready for my daughter in another decade or so. She'll be able to fit into them. So they do offer a lot as a pattern company, and I really like the style they have. But just if you're an adult, especially an adult female, adult period, just watch out for that sizing a little bit. It can potentially bite you. That does it for today's video. Let me know in the comments down below if you have had a chance to go check out your local Hobby Lobby, if you have one, to see if your patterns are on clearance yet. Have you picked any up? One of mine already had them on clearance last week, and then the other one I just found out has them on clearance now. So they're definitely moving at very different paces. It was not like one big nationwide release day of these clearance patterns. Definitely still seems like there are a lot out there, a lot to get to browse. If you have sewn New Look patterns before, let us know in the comments which ones are some of your faves. I have a friend who has a lot of TNTs from New Look that she really enjoys and really loves. So if you are the same and have some patterns that you really like from New Look, definitely let me know down below in the comments. I hope you guys have a wonderful Wednesday if you're watching it today. If not, I hope you're just having a really good day. And I will see you on Friday for #FridaySews. Bye.